What happens when lava meets ice? A princess falls in love with an ogre. You get a mysterious ring, or you take a magic pill. The answer is millions of views. A successful franchise. Trauma followed by a lawsuit. The point is, after this, the history gets interesting. This is an intriguing question. The opening of Pandora. In essence, the reason why people care about your history. Let's take Shrek, for example. This movie in particular has two inciting incidents. One propels the history forward and the other begins a franchise. But to understand this, first we need to go back. You see, watching a movie is pretty much like watching a game. If you don't understand the goal as well as the rules, you likely will feel confused, therefore annoyed, and as the final result, you're going to turn it off. And that's why every history begins with exposition, the equivalent of someone explaining the rules of the game before you can watch it. As the smart person that you are, you already got a lot to understand that if this explaining goes for too long, you're going to feel annoyed, you're going to turn it off. At the same time, if this explanation leaves something missing, an important information about the game, as you're watching, you're not going to have as much fun, you're not going to understand it, and here we go, the cycle repeats again. So this period of exposition gotta give exactly what the person needs to enjoy the rest of the history. This in the shortest amount of time possible. After all, what is interesting is seeing lava hitting ice. The perfect example of exposition is The Lord of the Rings. But since I only read the books and not watched the movies, let's go back to Shrek. Shrek is an ogre that loves to be an ogre. Donkey extracts from Shrek the truth that he is not as happy as he says to be. In the end of the day, he's a lonely creature. And it is funny because later in the franchise, as soon as Fiona gets pregnant, Shrek says, "I never had parents, like I'm an ogre. I don't know what to do." This truth about Shrek, feeling sad about being seen as a monster, remains true throughout the franchise, at least the first third. This exposition ends with the inciting incident. Shrek land gets invaded by squatters. Because of that, Shrek decides to take action. And see, from now on, things will never go back to normal. Let's go now to what I consider the second inciting incident. The princess falls in love with Shrek. Shrek opens his heart. He says, like, everybody looks at me and see I'm an ogre. And Donkey goes, "Well, I never saw you that way, Shrek." And the bond of friendship is formed there. But what they don't know is the princess is hearing everything and she kind of starts feeling empathy towards Shrek, as well as a feeling of love. What is love? Baby, not me. And if you notice, history is full of moments of exposition as well as moments of inciting incidents. Let's take Limitless for example. We learn Edward is a loser. He takes the pill. He becomes a winner. He wants to be more than a winner. He finds out that there is collateral effects to the pill he's taking. So you see, the history is constantly changing. I particularly love this movie, but Shrek is perhaps a better example of the consistency. The history is about loneliness, someone who feels lonely, and this remains true throughout the whole history. And Fiona also has this problem. Donkey also has this problem, and kind of goes together. They get along very, very well, and at the end we have the transformation. They are no longer lonely at the end of the movie.
And here we have, folks, not only a lesson about inciting incident, but a lesson about theme. If you liked, give it a like. If you have opinions, leave them in the comments. Thank you.